Hello everyone, Digital Sticks here, and I'm going to be trying to upload, uh, 2 videos per week. That's my goal. Originally, my goal was going to be 3 videos a week, which should be reasonable as well, at least for now, while I'm talking about videos that most likely won't be edited or high effort. But I scaled that down to 2 videos a week just because I don't know in advance what the topics of the videos will be. So I did not want to set a goal that forced me to make completely pointless content. If I have to do that for 2 videos a week, so be it. So the reason I'm doing this is to get better at doing this for myself. They say practice makes perfect. I don't think it's going to make perfect, but it should make better. And part of better is hopefully showing now where I am purposely trying to slow down how I describe these things. So, one thing I picked up on my first attempt to make this video is apparently I'm suffering from pressured speech. Suffering might be the wrong word, but that's definitely what I observe when I'm ad-libbing a video that I intend to have an audience for. And it's interesting because, in my Beat Saber therapy session video, at least there might be a second one coming. But anyways, this is the first time I talked about being diagnosed bipolar on my channel. And I explained in that video why I haven't discussed it before now. But one of the things about that diagnosis that I had not really understood was exactly how the doctors reached that conclusion, because of all the things I was struggling with, nothing suggested mania that I could think of. There certainly wasn't a period of excess positivity. I wasn't there because I was down from a high. I was there because of the consequences of struggling against headwinds and not knowing exactly what all was going on, other than, I could recognize depression, but at the same time, I wasn't seeing the results from things that should have brought me better results. Like, I was no stranger to depression, and I'd always seemed to know how to press on and carry on and get through it. And everything I'd done before wasn't working. Anyways, after watching my videos lately, and a common theme that has kept me from uploading a lot of efforts has been how fast I was talking. And I questioned whether anyone else could even understand what I was saying. I could, because I was struggling myself a little bit, and I could kind of relate to exactly the point I was trying to make. So apparently that's pressured speech. And so I can imagine if I'm having it show up in a video that I'm trying to make for an audience, that it must have been extreme and almost undeniable when I'm trying to talk to a doctor and explain the best I know how to a situation I don't understand. And so, anyways, I think I now know how they caught on to the possibility of bipolar, and I can only say that anytime on basically 2 different occasions, I had my regular doctor suspect that, and then of course going to therapy and having the psychologist actually suspect it. But in both of those times, I had great responses afterwards. So, um, it so, and in neither of those situations, the medicine should have been immediately effective that I'm aware of. So there seems to be almost like a placebo effect, except how can it be a placebo effect if I did not expect anything special from the medicine? So apparently for me, the big benefit was in both of those situations, I felt like I communicated better than I normally could, and I felt like I was listened to or whatever, and I had hope from that apparently. So somehow breakthrough in communication. And so, yeah, in both situations where I had that positive experience or reaction or response to the visitor, I don't know, however you want to say it, but a substantial and significant turnaround, at least for a period. But both of those occasions happened to be when bipolar was suspected. So there's something there, and it's rather interesting. Unfortunately, I don't really seem to have anything. Well, I say unfortunately, but I realize that there's a reason why mania is a problem for people. But it's like, I guess for me, it's just like, wow. I'm thinking that if I was manic, I would put it to good use, and that's probably not the case. And perhaps, maybe I don't recognize manic episodes because I do put them towards good use, but maybe they explain a lot of projects that I started and didn't finish. Of course, there's ADHD for that as well. But anyways, I guess there could be some content from there. But I don't have a clear direction for my content. I know, I want to capture the potential social benefits of social VR, and VR chat, I think, is one of the best places to recognize that potential. But VR chat is far from perfect, and then more recently, more kids being in VR, things like that, have challenged the experience that a person can find in Publix. That said, when I've investigated that or tried to capture some of that, the actual experiences in Publix were better than I expected. So I'm going to keep looking into that, but mostly I want to try to help people discover what I discovered in VR chat. It still exists. It's just not as easily found, and I hope to help navigate that. But that's only one thing. I'm not opposed to covering VR technology. Hopefully, if I can genuinely see some positives or have things to recommend that I can trust people can actually get a hold of, things like that, then certainly I would discuss technology. But I'm not going to chase just my own repeat and spin of the same news that everyone else is covering. And I'm certainly not going to jump on a bandwagon just because I can see it and see the results. I don't care about growing the channel at any cost. I care about integrity, and then the other thing that I think I can bring to YouTube content creation is humility. I can't imagine changing. I don't have any aspirations to, greed has no end, and I don't have greed. The technology that I have is because I had a time frame where I had some extra money and I invested in the technology to give myself options of staying content with nearly nothing. Basically, I did not want to have to make a lot of money to sustain my happiness, and so this has proven to be a great investment. This technology gives me the option of socializing at a significant discount, things like that. It's paid for itself who knows how many times over in just so many ways. And so, anyways, that's a tangent from the fact that I'm humble and fully expect to stay that way. And if anything, I would like to encourage more people to create content, whether they think it's going to go anywhere or not, especially if you're humble. The world needs more humble people. We lost a truly amazing humble person to start this year, and it was just absolutely awful. His name is Ken Block. He was a racer. Most people who've seen anything on YouTube have seen some of his Gymkhana videos. The guy was an outstanding driver, but he was a great father. And the other thing that's just really stand out to me about him was his humility. To have such a tremendous amount of success and yet be humble and just living life. It's a great contrast between him and other people that have become filthy rich off of YouTube. Now his wealth didn't start with YouTube. That's part of it. Like he wasn't a YouTube creator first and foremost. He was a person whose talent in life proved to be awesome YouTube content. And so that's one thing that's contrasting. But anyways, that's going to be a digression from this video that might be worth a video in itself, just me discussing how my perspective on like YouTube culture and things of that sort. I will just say this, it's really disappointing that here we have a medium that can give the common people a chance to be seen and heard and have a better voice, and yet we still manage to let a few people control the majority of the content that gets consumed and to make the majority of the money. And so we've got a handful of relative to the number of people posting to YouTube, we have a handful of people that are ultra successful, and they're using their success to further their success far beyond anything that they actually could need or benefit from in their personal lives, just because they can. And then and we see that sometimes the rich people compete against each other to be the one seen as just to be the richest. It doesn't matter anymore whether the wealth has a purpose or whatever. And so we probably get into that with YouTube as well. And I hate to see it. I mean, not only that, but at that point we were better off not having individual content creators, because at least mainstream media or cable news or cable outlets, all of them, they still need to have advertisers support them like directly, and I know some of these videos they have individual sponsors or whatever, but for starters, just having a subscriber base and getting views starts to bring in substantial income off of advertisers that do not necessarily directly have to support the channels. As long as you're within YouTube's guidelines, you'll get advertisements that are targeted at your demographic or whatever. And so that's just different from your specific content determining whether or not an advertiser supports you. And of course, again, see, there's tangents to everything, and I find them. We'll see, I guess, if I still manage to slow myself down some. Now, I don't want to sound unnatural, and I don't feel like I am. I'm aware that I should slow down a little bit. So maybe, but in my earlier videos, I don't think the talking fast was a problem. I haven't gone back and checked them yet since recognizing it. But this may explain part of why I've had trouble uploading videos, is because I went from ad-libbing and having to do just a few retakes and then getting something that I was happy to upload, to spending an hour or more with an idea that I started, and to the point that I lost interest in the idea that I was trying to make a video from, just failing to reach something that I was happy with, or having to just start over so many times. And perhaps some of this was pressured speech, just not being something to upload. But in any case, I should shut up now, because it makes this unnecessarily long. But that's what I expect to bring to the table, is just at least 2 videos a week. Try to work on improving my form and entertainment value as I go. Nobody starts off just killing it. If they do that, they've already had substantial media experience, or they went to school to get into broadcasting or drama or something like that. Otherwise, everyone is rough around the edges when they start, and it's only through doing that they get better. And then if they find some success, people are witnessing the end result of that learning curve, not as much natural talent and ability as they think they're seeing. I mean, it's a talent and ability that evolves, and you have to first start by doing. And so perhaps just pointing that out can encourage somebody else to give content a go. I would love to see the potential of YouTube shared between many more humble people than just a few proud ones. So, anyways, I digress. I'm Digital Sticks. I hope you have a good day. And if you want to help me out, please subscribe and appreciate it. So, we'll see you on the next one.